What's up, everyone? Welcome into Around the Felt Week 9 Recap, episode number 28. I am your host, Colin Tong. Very sad day for me and all Giants fans.
Very sad
Alongside,
for you guys.
next to me, is my sidekick, Reagan Losher.
Sidekick?
Reagan's Jets play tonight. We're recording Monday night against the Chargers. He's repping right now.
I'm repping
the official Round the Felt podcast t-shirt dropping on Friday.
Yes. And I'm repping the Colin Tong merch. He was rocking it all last week, and I'm like, yo, that guy looked good in that green. Let me try it on myself. So that's what I'm rocking today.
I hate that.
But yeah, anyway, Friday. Friday's a big day, so get ready.
Huge day.
You gotta buy Baldy on the card.
Baldy on the card.
I mean, come on.
The classic Around the Felt tee. The material is phenomenal. This is such a comfortable shirt. I love it.
Yeah, it's all Gildan.
Yeah, it's I don't know, whatever that means. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
That is the brand. So
Gildan?
Yeah, like Hanes, it's like that. But anyway.
Okay.
That's what that means.
So it was an interesting Week 9. Some highs and lows. A lot of games between bad teams and a couple of big primetime games. There's a great game in every slate. We'll start with the news, and obviously this is what is on everyone's mind, especially in the New York area. Daniel Jones tore his ACL, out for the season. Just in an awful way to close out the year for DJ. Didn't really play well. Lost the starting left tackle week 1, then Barkley goes down week 2, and then he hurts his neck, and then he busts his ass to get back from the neck injury, which, neck injury is nothing to fuck around about. And it was the second in his career. He had a season-ending neck injury in 21, comes back, tears his ACL, then still tries to gut through it and play, and then, his knee gave out and he fell down. So terrible end of the season for Jones, and this is basically the end of the Giants season, in my opinion, because Tyrod's out potentially for the rest of the year. He's out for at least the next 3 games, but we'll see.
You don't have confidence in DeVito?
No, absolutely not. Dable wouldn't even commit to Tyrod coming back this year, and Dable's very iffy with injuries. He doesn't really say what's going on. Don't really know what's going on. I mean, are you going to start Matt Barkley? If you start Matt Barkley the rest of the season, you're a top 5 pick. If you start DeVito, you probably don't win another game. The guy can't throw a forward pass. I can't believe he was even our 3rd option on the practice squad. I understand he's a Jersey kid, but goddamn, bro, you can't even attempt a forward pass with the guy?
Yeah, no,
it's terrible.
Hey, at least he threw his first touchdown pass, right?
Yeah, it just helped that Wandale had 10 yards of separation, was standing in the back of the end zone by himself, so yeah. It wasn't really a big-time throw, but yeah, the Giants season is over. A lot of people are now talking about, is this the end of Daniel Jones' tenure in New York? Now, people are going to be like, oh, you just signed him $106 million. Okay, well, you're casual, because if you look at the contract structure, they structured it that they can get out after 2024 and have, I think, $17 million in dead cap for 25, which is still a significant number. It's there, but to put that in perspective, that's the same dead cap number they have for Galladay this season, and they still were able to sign people. So they can get out of the Jones contract after 24. If you're picking top 5, you can go 2 routes. You can go
Drake May.
Well, you can go quarterback, right?
I mean, they're in the Caleb Williams hunt right now.
You are, but
well, think about it. The Cardinals.
I just can't see you guys being the worst team.
Kyler Murray.
No. So
that defense is still good enough, though.
No, I don't see the Giants being the worst team in the league. I still think the Cardinals are worse, and I still think the Panthers are worse, and I actually still think the Bears are worse. The problem is, okay, if the Panthers or Bears get the number 1 pick, Chicago's going to take Caleb Williams. It's going to happen. Yeah. Now, if Arizona gets number 1 and say, which it's tough because if they get
Joe does make a good point.
If Arizona gets 1 with Kyler Murray coming back, that means he can't even get a win, so they're probably going to move on from him.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because the latest PFF mock
draft, they're not going to get one now that I think about it. There's no way they.
The latest PFF mock that dropped today, because it's based off standings right now, Cardinals have the 1, and they traded it to the Giants at 4. Giants moved up to Caleb. Bears went Drake May, Marvin Harrison, and the Cardinals took Olu Fashanu, left tackle from Penn State. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Cardinals did, to pair with Paris Johnson, which is a really nice young tackle duo. But that's if you're rocking with Kyler. But if you, like you said, if you have the number 1 pick in the draft, I mean, granted, it's not all on Kyler. That roster is pathetic.
I know.
But if Kyler plays like we've seen him in the past, you got to expect him to win a few games where...
Exactly.
I mean, but then it's okay, Carolina's schedule softens up. What do the Bears do if Fields come back? Do they win some games? It's still too early to tell.
There's a lot that can happen.
There's a lot. And with
As
the Giants
fans, you just got to root for them to lose.
At this point. And with the Giants, you can go the quarterback route.
I've been in that spot before as a Jet fan. Like, you just got to... You kind of got to switch over from watching the Giants games to watching Red Zone. That's what you got to do. Because it's no fun watching your team play when you want them to lose. Because, what's the point of watching the game?
Sucks, man.
That's why you guys just got to shift over to Red Zone fans and gamblers for the rest of the season.
Yeah. But, that's what's going to become, okay? Mm-hmm. Do you go quarterback? Do you give up the assets to get up to 1 to get Caleb?
Well, I already looked at the line for next week. Did you see what it is?
Oh, it's against Dallas.
Right? Yeah, 16.5 already. I'm so happy.
Money line.
I got Dallas left in one of my survivor pools, so it's very happy. Seeing that because
it's looking good.
I was a little worried.
Dallas at home against the Giants is always a horse cock. Now, when you take out the starting quarterback,
because I wasn't going to take it.
Yeah, when you got a guy that can't throw a pass.
Yeah, so the Giants could trade up and get a quarterback, or if they're bad enough and they're at number 2, you take May, or they might say we're going to stick with Jones and we're going to take a tackle and we're going to kick Evan Neal into guard, or we're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. and finally get that true number 1. So it's too early to tell.
I think it's a gamble though because they say how historic this draft class is.
It is.
You don't know when you're going to be picking.
I will say though, what are the Giants' biggest needs? Mm-hmm. Some would argue quarterback, right tackle, wide receiver. That's the top of the draft board. It's loaded with quarterbacks, 2 tackles, Fashanu from Penn State and Joe Alt from Notre Dame, and then Marvin Harrison Jr.
If you go lineman or if you go wide receiver and Drake May and Caleb Williams or any of those other quarterbacks end up panning out, you're never going to live it down, no matter how good those picks are.
No, absolutely.
So you could draft Marvin Harrison and he could be a stud, but all it takes is for a couple of those quarterbacks to end up being Pro Bowlers, and then you guys are never going to live it down.
Well, the problem would be I guess it depends, but if Arizona's 1 or 2 and the Chicago's 1 or 2, and they're both we're taking quarterbacks, so you can't move up, then it's do you like the third quarterback enough that you're going to take that gamble and move on from Jones and pass on a surefire blue chip talent like Marvin Harrison or Fashanu? That's, a lot of football left to play.
Because Michael Penix is great, but it's looking like he'll potentially be that third guy, and he does have the injury history.
Yeah, well, it depends on because some people have Bo Nix, it's some guys have JJ McCarthy. It's cloudy after that. It just sucks that it's fucking week 9 recap and we're talking draft. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. It's brutal. All right, let's move on. Dallas Goedert fractured his forearm, likely to IR. That's bad for my fantasy team because Goddard's been really turning it on lately.
You guys see the tackle?
That was brutal. He grabbed him and pulled him down.
Yeah, just yanked him down, and right away I'm like, Yeah. And of course, I lost one of my fantasy matchups by 4 points, and when Goddard went down, I'm like, I hope that doesn't come to bite me in the ass. It did. But it sucks. We'll see what happens with this Eagles offense now, but that's a key piece. Those screens they kind of draw up for him are huge.
Yeah, he's an athletic tight end, so it's going to be tough for them. But they are the Eagles, so they'll be fine. He'll be back for the stretch run.
Jack Stoll, a name to look out for as a tight end.
Absolutely.
For fantasy, you got it in that offense.
Cam Akers suffers a torn Achilles. He also tore his Achilles in 21.
Yeah.
Tore it again.
Not good.
Not good for him.
He's had a rough year.
He's had a rough year. He's had a rough few years, to be honest with you. But, yeah, he's a depth piece for the Vikings. They gave up a late pick to get him, so not a huge loss, I don't think.
Not for the Vikings, no, but just
sucks for
more
the player.
Big name going
sucks
down, yeah.
Okay, well, according to Shefty...
Yeah, if you want me to say it, I can say it if you want.
Yeah, you say it.
Yeah, so I saw, according to Shefty, if Tommy DeVito is to start, he will be the 10th rookie.
Which he won't.
He would be the 10th rookie quarterback to start a game this season, being the most ever, which is crazy to think because it's only going to be week 10 at that point.
Yeah.
That just kind of shows how bad the injuries have been at the quarterback position this year, but not only that, how many rookies are actually getting the opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man.
Because think about it, there are only 4...
Name all 10?
Badgett, Levis, Stroud, Young, Richardson, my boy Toon. Can't forget Toon. DeVito would be included in that 10 because he would make it 10. DT or Dorian Thompson Robinson. I was going to say DTR.
DTR.
There's 2 more I'm forgetting. Oh wow.
I forget which ones you said.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of.
The guy for the Vikings that just got hurt.
Jaron
Hall.
He would be 9, and then there's one. Oh, and Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell. Yeah, I said McConnell.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
But it's crazy to think about that.
But DeVito won't start.
Years down the road, that'll be a good trivia question.
They're Barkley's going to start. Dable didn't.
But I still think that record's broken anyway. I still think at some point
I wouldn't mind DeVito starting though.
He gives you the best chance.
I mean, if we can't complete a forward pass and you want to run Barkley 35 times, I guess it's a decent strategy.
Yeah, and if you want to get one of those top picks,
if anything, I mean, I have Saquon in 3 leagues, but if anything, kind of temper back his workload with the outlook of the season.
Just stack that box like crazy.
It's gonna be bad football to watch.
All right,
and Kyler Murray officially back for Week 10 as long as he suffers no setbacks in practice this week. So if you stash Kyler in fantasy, could reap his rewards now.
We've been saying it.
Kyler might be auditioning for his job the rest of the year.
I think so.
If they were to lose out, it's a new regime. They have no strings attached to Kyler. They could move on.
That's probably what this. That's what this last 7 games are going to be.
Exactly.
All right,
8 games.
Joe, what do we got for questions?
Okay, let's start it off with Austin.
Hey, Austin.
Austin, the snowman.
Getting the holiday spirit. I'm already seeing Christmas commercials. It's fucking, November 6th?
Yeah, it's depressing.
I don't fucking like it.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't like it.
People don't do that anymore, though.
No, it's fucked.
All right. Is C.J. Stroud the greatest rookie quarterback of all time?
I mean, you definitely got to make a case for it. I mean, the game he had this week, 5 touchdowns for 480. I mean, they were comparing it to Andrew Luck's historic game. And Luck, I saw, had 20 more attempts, 1 less touchdown, and 20 less yards. So, I mean, right away, that's got to be the best rookie performance we've ever seen, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that was phenomenal.
I mean, I don't think there's anything that can beat that.
And a lot of people really...
It's got to be the most fantasy points by a rookie quarterback ever as well, because he had over 40, which is also ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I took Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud in Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, what Stroud did was phenomenal.
I mean, you got guys
he's making... But the thing with Stroud is, like, it's not like he's in a system where it's a lot of play action. He's got open receivers. Like, this dude is throwing frozen ropes all over the field. Like, he pushes the ball downfield. He's got an insanely strong arm. He's shown that
he's making huge plays.
He's
got
legit,
them right in the thick of the playoff hunt too. I mean, they're only 4-4 right now. Like,
nobody expected that.
They're going to be a team. I'd say the division's probably at a line, but you never know. They still get to play the Jaguars again, and they're only 2 games back. But I mean, they're definitely going to be fighting for a wild card. 4-4.
Yeah, and I mean, to the point of is the best ever. I don't know. I don't want to sleep on Justin Herbert's 2020 rookie season where he had 36 total touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,300 yards. That's pretty fucking good.
Also think about Cam Newton's too.
Cam Newton was
it's
phenomenal as well.
He's definitely going to be in the conversation. I mean, he's already at 15-1 touchdown to interception ratio, or 14-1. It's either 14 or 15-1, but I know he's still only got that 1 pick against the Saints.
One interception is the most impressive stat, to be honest with you. Like that is very, very impressive for a rookie quarterback.
I've seen some tweets of people saying is C.J. Stroud a borderline MVP candidate.
I think at this point, you got to say he's a borderline MVP candidate. Will it hold up? No. But
But right now,
I'd say you have to make a case. I mean, what he's doing.
Yeah, you take Stroud off that team.
They're 4-4. Yeah, exactly. You take him off the team. Like Davis Mills at quarterback, they're probably 1-7 right now.
Let's keep in mind, since the Watson year, several years back, the Texans have been brutal since. Like they haven't won games, and he stepped in and. Right away, a ton of his starting offensive linemen were out. He's been doing this all year without offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And it's not like Houston had any bona fide weapons either. Like, Tank Dell's balling out with Stroud. That's the guy he wanted. Nico Collins is balling out.
Dalton Schultz
is playing away. And their running game hasn't even been there. Like, Stroud has elevated his offense so much, and that's what you want from a guy. That's how you know there could be a franchise caliber starting quarterback. Because if they're elevating everyone around them, they're not winning in spite of them. And he's been doing that. His rookie year.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so we probably already know the answer to this, but he wants to know, is Stroud a must-start in fantasy, or is he still a week-to-week quarterback?
I can't say he's a must.
On the schedule.
He's not
it depends.
He's not a must-start, but it really depends on who your quarterback is. I mean, I'd say he's a top 12 quarterback right now, so, like, if you're one of those teams that streams the quarterbacks every week, I would continue to play him until he proves you can't play him.
Exactly.
But, like, I'm not trading him in for any of the top guys.
Yeah, like, if you just got Lamar...
I don't even think we need to go through. You know who the top guys are.
You don't got to start him over him. But like, if you have for example, Trevor Lawrence, who was a top 8 quarterback pick this year, but he hasn't
lost Kirk Cousins to the ACL tear. There's a lot of definitely a lot of situations.
If he's available,
or you were playing, if you were playing Jordan Love for a while because he started out good for fantasy. I mean, there's a lot of guys I'd play him over.
Stafford is hurt. A lot of quarterbacks are hurt, so he's definitely got to have rostered.
Are the Bengals going to run the table?
Yes, they are. Oh, I don't know if they're going to run the table, but the Bengals are making a run. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
That's 5 in a row. Bet it now. Super Bowl. They look so good. Joe Burrow looks so good.
I can't say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they definitely look like they're primed for another playoff berth.
Oh yeah,
they're just so tough to beat, man. Like, and they don't give a fuck. Like, Joe Burrow has so much swagger. They'll go on the road, and everyone feeds off of Burrow. Like, when the guy said our championship window is my window, like, however long he's the quarterback, like, that guy's got that dog in him.
He's confident.
They're going on a fucking run, dude.
Also, the Bengals Stadium with the crowd doing the tiger stripe was so cool.
Yeah, that was
you never
badass.
see that in the NFL.
That was
pretty
badass.
Sweet. All right, next we got Jared Crampton.
Hey, Bear.
Hey, Jerry.
He says, not a question, just think Joe needs his own segment or something. Get the kid involved. You guys are Arthur Smith and Joe is Bijan.
No. I hate that you said that. I fucking hate Arthur Smith. Imagine taking Bijan 8th overall, and you're on the 1 yard line. He doesn't even get in the game. And you run an end around to fucking Jonnu Smith. Like, who does that,
give the
bro?
ball to him twice.
Who does that? Let's throw a screen to Jonnu Smith and a fucking end around, dude. I don't know what him and Jonnu Smith have some type of weird relationship where he just wants to feed that guy the ball. Like, we know what he is. He's solid, but he's not great.
Well, he looked fast on that touchdown now.
We definitely do need a segment for the kid. We got to get him on like an Instagram live right before kickoff and have him talk to you guys, or maybe him and Drock could do something together. Maybe a Drock and Joe podcast
we'll put
once
something
a week.
In the works. We'll consider it for sure.
Yeah, we're open to ideas for a segment for Joe. Let us know.
Yeah, Jared, Bear, if you got any ideas for him, let us know. Maybe we'll send him down to you in North Carolina, and you could put him to work down there on some like out of the office segment.
Yeah, just put me in the office or something. Have me file some things. All right. Speaking of Bijan, he wants to know, what do you do with Bijan if you have him in fantasy?
You bench him.
You gotta start him, I think. I mean, because let's be honest, it's not like everyone has startable running backs.
Yeah, no, you obviously start him. You just temper expectations. I wasn't huge on him coming into this season.
Or trade him to someone that,
Yeah, no, I still think people are definitely high on him. Trade deadlines are going to be coming up soon for fantasy leagues. So you definitely look to capitalize on that, but I think you'd be selling at an all-time low. If you're a buyer, I'd buy him because obviously the talent's there, but I also was a guy who wasn't saying to be super high on him. Like, I don't know how you can ever draft a guy in the first round who hasn't played a snap in the NFL when there's proven running backs where you know the volume's there. I've been saying Algier was going to be heavily involved, and that doesn't look like it's going away unless an injury happens, and we don't root for injuries here. So I think you temper expectations and you view him as a flex at this point. I don't think you could view him as like an RB1 or RB2 unless you have injuries, but I mean, you just got to temper your expectations.
It's a damn shame. Why take the guy 8th overall if you're not going to fucking use him?
Yeah.
It's just so...
You could say the same thing for Gibbs, too. I mean, the only reason Gibbs is going off is because of Montgomery injury. So...
Yeah, it's just a damn shame, man. It's such a waste of talent. I hate Arthur Smith. Even if they go like 9-8 this year and like get a wild card, I'd fire his ass.
Yeah, I'm not
just
a fan of his
like
I could see them
stop
getting
investing
a wild card.
capital into like top 10 picks into these skill position weapons if you're not gonna fucking use them.
Why? I think
get an offensive lineman, get a pass rusher. Like
I was loving the Jonnu Smith touchdown when he had the screen pass and took off, and I'm like, oh, I know Colin's freaking out. Like, that could have been Kyle Pitts. That could have been Kyle Pitts.
Free Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I
mean, free Kyle Pitts.
And the funny thing is, Jonnu Smith's a top 12 tight end for fantasy.
Or no, though, like rookies though, they have been going like really high, like in fantasy drafts.
Yeah,
like,
I mean it's risky because it's an unproven asset.
Elliott, even Saquon, like they've had good rookie years.
Dude, even Clyde Edwards-Helaire was going top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
It's risky, man. But I will say, it's funny that Jonnu Smith is a top 12 fantasy tight end right now.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And you know who's not Kyle Pitts.
It's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up.
All right, do you guys think the Bills are just the Cowboys of the AFC?
Ooh.
No, I think the Dolphins are, actually.
Yeah, I heard that argument this morning.
Very fair.
They're saying the Dolphins are the Cowboys, where they can't beat good teams, but they'll beat the hell out of bad teams.
Because, I mean, the Bills, I still don't view the Bills as frauds, where the Dolphins, I genuinely view them as frauds. Like, the Bills were in that game last night. Like, the Dolphins, even though they
did come back.
Even though they did come back, I never felt like they were in that game. Like, it just felt like the Chiefs kind of got up big and just, like, coasted in the second half. Like, the Dolphins' defense stepped up, but, like, for this offense you're comparing to the greatest show on turf to put up 14 points, like, I mean, it's one thing to put up 70 on Denver, but then you play an actual contender, and all you can do is muster 14 points.
Chiefs have a really good defense. They're second in points allowed.
They do have a good defense, but
when
you're supposed to have the best offense in the league.
When they get shut down, when they played Buffalo, Philly, and Kansas City. who are you going to play in January?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, you got to beat good teams.
yeah. I mean, I still think the Bills, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about it. I just say the Dolphins are more comparable to me.
This was like the same thing almost last year with the Bills, too, though. They, were a roller coaster of a team.
Yeah. Plus, they're just missing Matt Milano. It's been huge. Like, they just haven't recovered from that.
He was having a great year. All right, next we got Walmart. Question more for Tom.
Hey, Walmy.
Reagan has been a Howell supporter. Has Sam Howell's performance so far this year changed your mind about him?
Oh, I have been a Sam Howell supporter.
So Howell's definitely played well. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
He's played great. He's second in passing yards in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's still.
Who had that on their bingo card?
Yeah, no one had that.
You like
That's
to say
crazy,
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
He's definitely playing good football. I did mention earlier he does take too many sacks, and part of that's the offensive line, part of that's him and getting through his progressions quicker. But yeah, he's played well, man, and I think Washington's probably going to be stuck in the middle of the draft again, which they seem to be every year in that 12 to 18 range, just where they are. So they're always out of quarterback range, and it's always mentioned, could they go quarterback? I think you're fine with Howell right now. I think the team has bigger needs, particularly on the edge that you traded away Chase Young and Montez Sweat. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely rock with Howell for at least next year. And see what he does.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, this team's still only a game out of a wild card spot. It doesn't seem like a team that wants to make the playoffs since they traded away 2 edge rushers, and what did good playoff teams typically want and need? Edge rushers, but I think Howell's the real deal. I think you would bare minimum stick with him, get rid of him as soon as next year, bare minimum. But he seems like he's got what you need.
I mean,
to be
there's just a shortage. There's a shortage for quarterbacks, and Howell's young, and if he's playing this well now, you got to rock with him and see what he's got.
Plus, once Ron's gone, assuming they fire Ron, you would think it's going to get better for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'd be curious if they fire Riverboat. Does Bieniemy stick around? I
feel like it's hard to say. I think the only way he'd stick around is if he's the head coach, because I don't think another head coach is going to come in and
Bieniemy wants the head coaching job. That's why he took the Washington job, because he's I can't be under
Andy
Reid
that's what
anymore.
I'm saying. Yeah, he wouldn't stick around, but also if they hired someone else, they're going to bring in their own OC.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right.
What players have started slow this year that you assume will pick it up big time by the year ends?
Tony Pollard. That's the one that comes to mind right away. I mean, outside of that first week against the Giants, he's been having an off year so far. Maybe that's half to deal with Zeke not being there. I mean, maybe he's not the bell cow back we thought. I mean, we know what McCarthy wants to do, but obviously it's been proven the past couple weeks that this offense has been kind of airing it out a little bit more, using CeeDee Lamb a lot more. Jake Ferguson has looked better, but Tony Pollard's a guy I expect to get more involved, and I think once the touchdowns come, you're going to have a better feeling on him. So he's a guy I'm definitely trying to buy into cheap at trade deadlines.
I'm going to go to 2 of the Raiders, Jacobs and Adams. Jacobs, obviously leading rusher last year. He ran the ball well against the Giants this week.
Hopefully signs of more good games to come.
Yeah, I think particularly Adams, though, because Adams is a big believer in O'Connell. He likes the way he plays, and I'm sure he was one of the guys that was super pissed off when McDaniels wanted to start Brian Hoyer, because, I mean, come on, it's Brian Hoyer. So I think, and even Antonio Pierce said, we're going to get those 2 guys the ball. You knew with the Cowboys, it was Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. This is our Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. Jacobs and Adams feeding them the ball. So hopefully, with O'Connell under center, the Raiders will do that.
Okay. Now, we got a trivia question.
Oh, boy.
I love trivia questions.
Who are the 5 oldest head coaches in the NFL right now in order?
Well, we know for starters, right off the bat, it's got to be Pete Carroll is the oldest.
Yes.
So
Belichick's up there.
That's number 2?
That's who you're saying is 2?
I'm just trying to get the names out first. Belichick, I think, is up there. Reed's definitely up there.
Yeah. I'm going to go Belichick 2, Reed 3.
Yep.
4
I don't know if you guys are going to get 4.
Frank Wright.
Yes.
Let's fucking go, dude. Come on.
Think about, and then 5.
I have a name in mind. I don't know if
I have a name in mind.
Trigger, though.
I have a name in mind.
All right, wait. I'll count up 3. Both of you guys say the name.
It's going to be, all right.
3, 2, 1.
Sean
Dennis
Payton.
Allen.
Both wrong.
Dennis Allen, bro. I could have told you that was wrong. Dennis Allen's 45 or 50.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, Dennis Allen's not that old.
Wait, can I get one more guess? Mike Tomlin?
No.
No, it's definitely not Tomlin. It's
You're thinking
McCarthy.
Doug Peterson.
No.
All right, who is it?
Ron Rivera.
Come on, a Walmart question.
Yeah, it's a Walmart question.
Yeah,
we knew Riverboat was
All right, I got the first 4, but I couldn't get the 5th.
That was impressive.
All right, good question, Walmart.
What do you mean, I mean, I said Belichick and Reed.
That's true.
Yeah, you didn't really give me much there. I was the one who took the bullet and said which one. You were just naming out names.
Yeah, you did.
You think I wouldn't have gotten the Belichick and Reed? Those guys are...
Yeah, but I thought they were 2-3.
You didn't say it, though.
He's also has a punishment idea. Loser has to play your Thanksgiving football game in sandals if you guys play Thanksgiving football
wow.
next year.
Wow.
Yo, we typically do, or at least I do. Colin usually doesn't go because he comes up with some bullshit about how he doesn't want to get hurt, but maybe he'll go.
That's just not true.
Yes, it is. Every time I've invited you to go, you're like, I don't want to risk getting injured. I'm not going. So, yeah, I think that's a great punishment.
That is not why I don't go. I'm usually hungover.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, well, if you're punished, I think that's a great punishment.
Do we really play like?
I think we can organize. If that's the punishment, I think we can get enough to make at least to get a video out of it. It'd be funny to see this guy running around in sandals.
I mean, it'd be a lot funnier if you did because you already can't.
Why? I already suck. So
you can't run.
I already suck. It would be more funny to watch the guy that played college football.
I could be in sandals and I'd toast you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you would. We'll see what happens.
Sandals
then.
or flip flops? Because flip flops.
Actually, flip flops would be better. Yeah.
Flip flops would be way.
Flip flops would be better.
Sandals, you can.
I got both, bitch. What do you want? I got both. I'll put them both on. I'll put a flip flop on one foot, a sandal on the other, and I'll toast your ass.
Flip flops.
We don't want to mess up your ankles.
Run in flip flops.
Yeah, I think
sandals. You can if you strap them down tight, you can kind of.
Yeah, dude, that'll be funny as shit. Yeah.
I do like that one.
That's a great punishment idea.
It's funny.
I think we're doing it. I'm on board for that.
Plus, it's cold as shit out, bro. Those dogs are gonna get chilly.
Yeah, they're gonna be really cool.
Those dogs are
also,
getting chilly.
We always get some people that wear cleats too. So
I think the last time we played, it was snowing too.
Yeah, 2 years ago, or maybe it was last year. I don't know. We always seem to play once or twice a year.
It was last year, I think.
But yeah, I think that's a great punishment idea.
That's all I got for questions for you guys today, fellas.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back with the recap.
Gobble gobble, everybody. Here's your halftime break with Drock. And guess what? Special shout out to our man Ed at Masterpiece Designs. Slam it!
Welcome back in, everybody. We're going to get right into the Week 9 breakdown. First up, we had the Thursday night game. Steelers won 20-16. We know Ed is definitely thrilled as a Steelers fan.
Shout out Ed. Big win from the Steelers in classic Steelers fashion. A low-scoring game led by their defense. Kenny Pickett did Kenny Pickett things. Threw for $160 and had a lot of missed throws. I mean, I don't know if you saw it, dude. In that first half, man, he missed so many throws that were come on. And then afterwards... probably their best skill position player, George Pickens, is putting on Instagram, free me, after having 2 catches for -1 yards.
Yeah, it looks like Deontay's back to being the number 1 there, 7 for 90 and 1.
He shouldn't really say much because that toe, he didn't even attempt to drag his foot on that touchdown.
Yeah, everyone's bashing him. People were someone catching the ball in the middle of the field, George Pickens wouldn't have gotten his second foot down.
Well, the funny thing I saw floating around is C.J. Stroud already, through his 8 career games, has more passing touchdowns than Kenny Pickett does in 2 seasons.
Yeah, and Pickett threw 1 touchdown this game.
13 more games or something, right?
Yeah, it's a significant
Pickett,
amount.
I think it's clear with Pickett. I just don't think he's ever going to be a high-level starter in this league. I mean, I think it's safe to say at this point. I mean, granted, he is still young, but keep in mind, he was also an older prospect coming out. It's not like he was a guy that was in school for 3
he's 25
years.
already.
Yeah, he wasn't in school for 3 years and entered the draft at 21. He was a 5-year guy in college. So he's already 25. We all know he's got small motherfucking hands.
Yeah.
He's missing simple throws that just shouldn't happen, and this offense is brutal. So everyone wants to fire Matt Canada. I don't think Kenny Pickett's a long-term solution either. But on the positive ends, against the Titans' run defense that's been pretty solid this season, Jalen Warren went 11 for 88, and Najee went 16 for 69 and a touchdown.
Big game for both running backs.
Yeah, absolutely. On the Titans side, Will Levis kind of came back down to earth.
Which is crazy to say because the Titans' run defense is pretty good normally, so...
I just said that, motherfucker.
Me going... No, I'm just trying to... Yes, I was. Me going... can I explain my point, or are you going to cut me off? I'm just saying, me personally going into this game, I did not think the Steelers were going to be able to do much on the running game, but hey, both backs had a good game. And
wow, as soon as you lose faith in your boy Najee, he has a solid game.
Yeah,
granted, Jalen Warren was better. Jalen Warren was better.
Never know.
Yeah,
no, they
Jalen
complement
Warren.
each other. I think it's a good thing they got going there, and that's what I was saying before. I think the Cowboys are missing that Najee, Zeke type to complement Pollard.
That's fair. On the Titans side, Levis came back down to earth a little bit, He didn't throw any touchdowns. He had a pick, but he still went 22 of 39 for 262, and that was on a short week against a good defense. So I think this just solidifies you're sticking with Levis the rest of the way, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't see them turning from him.
The horse, 17 for 75 and a touchdown. The horse doing horse things. That's what he does. Now, if I'm a Titans fan, though, can we get Treylon Burks going? It's been a very slow second season for him. And he did get fucking crushed. But I don't know. He showed flashes last year because I had him in fantasy. I have him stashed in Dynasty, and I liked what I saw. But
a lot of people thought that Burks was going to be the number one because they signed Hopkins later into the offseason this year, going into training camp. So I mean, we fully expected him to be their number one wide receiver this year for most of the offseason.
Yeah,
so you'd like to see some more flashes and kind of show, hey,
this is though.
Which still you'd like to see some you gave up AJ Brown for this guy, so that's
what a dumb move. If you have a guy like AJ Brown, I don't see how you let him go. To be honest with you, I mean Brown's balling.
I mean, if Burks can figure it out, then you can justify it. But right now, it's not easy to justify it.
Reagan, your Titans dropped to 3-5. You getting a little nervous? You might have to have some mayo and coffee or what?
Nah, I'm not too nervous yet. If they drop,
you did say before the season started that you do like mayo and you do like coffee. So.
I would definitely be interested in trying it. I mean, it's not going to feel like if I have to do it, there's definitely a lot worse punishments I've had to do.
That's probably one of the easier ones.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like swimming across the freezing river.
Yeah. No, I feel like the mayo and the coffee, and even the one I'm going to be doing this week, which we'll get into that one a little bit later.
Walmart said we should call it the Juice World Challenge 999. I love it. I love Juice World, so we're gonna do it.
I don't get the reference, but okay.
That's Juice World's thing. 999. Yeah. That's
okay.
You wouldn't know because you don't listen to any music.
Yeah, they don't listen to Juice WRLD. But anyway, that's why I asked. That's why I said, "What's the Juice WRLD impact of it?"
Yeah,
so
well,
now I know.
I just told you.
The more you know.
Yeah. Let's get over to Germany, Reagan, where the Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14. Kind of an ugly game. I'm not gonna lie. We were hoping for a lot of points. Chiefs got up to a 21-0 lead, sparked by that strip of Tyreek Hill, the sick little lateral.
Smart play.
The Chiefs did. It was a genius play. And then the Chiefs kind of coasted in the second half while Miami went for a bit of a comeback, but they were able to hold on late in the game. And, Reagan, we were both on the Chiefs because we think the Dolphins are fraudulent and they can't beat good teams.
And they proved it again. They're pretty fraudulent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from this game differently than I was going into the game. Said Miami had to go get the win, otherwise we would consider them frauds. The game ended, the Chiefs won by 7, and honestly the game really never felt that close to me, so I still view Miami as frauds, if not even bigger frauds.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that Mahomes only threw for $185 after how that first drive went.
Yeah.
Where he tore him up down the field. He did throw for 2 touchdowns. Didn't really have to rely on him too much. Travis Kelce got shut down, 3 for 14.
That was very surprising to me.
Killed me in fantasy, motherfucker.
Oh, wow, we got Drock.
Oh, do we have a special visitor?
Wow, we got Drock waddling.
Mid-pod. Drock is here. Drock is here. Drock, we are mid-recording right now, brother. We're talking Chiefs-Dolphins right now, Drock.
Well, Dolphins are frauds.
Hey, yeah, that's what we just said, Drock.
Absolutely frauds.
We're saying the Dolphins are frauds. I was just about to get into giving Colin a little bit of crap. He didn't hit his parlay leg this week.
Yeah, I took Tyreek over. I thought Tyreek revenge game, and the motherfucker came out and said, I'm going to go for 12-250. And
you should have taken receptions. He had 8 catches.
8 for 62, and that fumble that led to a Chiefs touchdown. That sucked. That definitely sucked. But, yeah.
All the favorites sucked.
Yeah, it was a weird week.
And Kelce only had like 40 receiving yards.
No, he had 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, he screwed me in fantasy, but it's fine. The Chiefs improved to 7-2. Looks like the AFC is going to go through Arrowhead unless my Ravens have something to say about it.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins fall to 6-3, still on top of the division, but that's becoming an awfully close race, especially if your Jets win tonight, brother.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Come on, Zach, get it done.
Confident?
I don't know, I'm confident, but I'm obviously a little nervous. I always get nervous before big games.
Come on, you gotta get nervous.
The stakes,
I get pretty nervous.
The stakes always are higher on prime time too. You know.
I don't think they win, and the spread's -3, and I think if the Chargers win, it's gonna be by 3 points.
Wow.
Bucket's got Chargers -3 too. So
Who does?
Bucket with Trap.
No.
I don't know who the fuck
Fade
that
God.
is.
Huge fade God.
Huge fade god?
Wow.
He's
You
Drock's
gonna give the
rival.
people a slam it for tonight?
That's
Maybe
Drock's
a
rival.
little
Maybe,
Drock's luck.
Maybe.
A little last minute social media post. We only got an hour till kickoff, so 45 minutes
I haven't
actually.
even taken any picks tonight.
Maybe check it out. Maybe a free slam it on the house.
All right, let's move on, Reagan. The Vikings, huge comeback.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs, hell of a game.
To beat the Falcons. The Falcons are fucking killing me. That team pisses me off. Vikings improved to 5-4. Falcons are now 4-5. And the story of the game was Jaren Hall getting knocked out with concussion right away.
He looked good, and he looked good on that one drive.
Yeah, 5 of 6 for 78 yards. I mean, 2 carries for 11. That's a pretty solid start for the young buck. And then Josh Dobbs is like, okay, I guess I'm playing today because he didn't take any reps. Didn't take any reps in practice.
Comes in, instantly gets sacked in the end zone pretty much.
Yep,
and then you're like,
right
boy,
away.
this is going to be a rough game, but it certainly wasn't. I mean, 20 for 30 passing, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 66 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I mean,
that was the story of the game, was him on the ground. He did fumble 3 times and lost 2 of them. So
it is expected in a sense because you could tell the timing wasn't there on a lot of stuff. And all the running, like we were talking about it earlier when we weren't recording, it was a lot of broken down plays and stuff, so it wasn't like planned out plays. So I mean,
but that's what won them the game.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
I mean,
it is.
They were literally drawing up plays in the huddle and like on the thing, telling him what to do.
Probably stuck his hand out and introduced himself.
Yeah, there was literally a video of him on the sideline taking reps with the center, and all the other linemen were sitting there just listening for the cadence.
Yeah, I mean that was
hilarious.
That's pretty sick though for him to show out.
No, it's phenomenal.
On the road too.
Phenomenal. I mean, hats off to Joshua Dobbs. You know, finding his receivers all over the field. Hockenson 7 for 69, Addison 5 for 52. You like to see that.
What about on the Falcons side?
The Falcons side
Their
of the
leading
ball.
receiver, Jonnu Smith, 5 for 100 and a touchdown, seems to be the tight end one. Their
And
leading running back, Tyler Algier, 12 for 39, leading the team in carries.
Bijan went 11, but Bijan had 11 for 51.
Yeah, that's cool.
More
I guess
yards.
their backup running back was more efficient,
Yeah.
but their starting running back had the touchdown and had more
you
carries.
mentioned Jonnu being the number 1 receiver. Number 2, Cordero Hodge. God damn it. Come on, man. You take fucking Kyle Pitts 4th overall. You take Drake London 8th. I mean, what
For those of you listening to me, Algier and Jonnu were the ones that had the
Drake
good
London
fantasy
also
games.
Yeah, London was out. I'm just saying, like, Cordell Hodge. He was like their leading receiver last week.
Don't worry. I'm sure they'll get Cordell Patterson involved next week just to piss you off even more.
Well, Cordell Patterson did have 1 catch for 3
Matt
yards, so
Collins
he's
will
trending
be
in the right
crazy.
direction.
Yeah, you never know with Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I mean, these Falcons are pissing me off. But still, at 4-5, they're just a game back in their division. All right, next, the Browns beat the piss out of the Cardinals.
Yeah, Clayton Tune's...
Clayton Tune, Rookie of the Year, is out the window.
If I had I wish I had a printed out ticket so I could rip it live on the podcast. But I mean, yeah, that one...
It was, it's worth looking at. Yeah, 11
were
20 for
juicy.
58 yards and 2
They
picks.
were juicy. It would have been
2.9 yards
And
per
I think the worst part
completion.
about it is I think if he didn't
per
play...
attempt.
If he didn't play any snaps at all this year, probably would have got voided and refunded. But nope, since he played, it's... Yeah.
You actually placed it?
Out for $5.
You just wiped your ass with a good old Abe Lincoln.
Whatever. You know.
Yo, his QB rating was 1.6, dog. That's definitely Rookie of the Year material.
It's better than like 1.5, right?
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about on the Cardinals side.
Yeah, I
They're
would just
bad.
say, like, don't worry about the weapons. Like, better days ahead. They're not playing it. They're going to have Kyler. They're not going to be going against the Browns defense every week, so.
Could have got a sandwich from Subway with that money.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Nice little foot long.
All right.
Pause.
All right, Colin.
For the Browns, Watson, 19 of 30, 219, 2 touchdowns. Played pretty well. Then again, it's the Cardinals. And classic Amari Cooper game at home against a bad team. Let's just go all for 5 for 139.
You should have
and a
trusted your
touchdown.
gut because you on the podcast last week were like, oh, Amari Cooper receiving yards, maybe a sneaky little parlay leg, but you didn't.
I fucked
You
up.
didn't trust your gut.
I fucked up. I know. I liked Cooper.
Yeah, and Jerome Ford was back to being the lead back, so that was something
20
we were
carries,
saying.
but only 44 yards, and Hunt 14 for 38.
Yeah,
so
neither looked very efficient. I mean, but for those of you that took or were a little worried about it after Jerome Ford being outsnapped last week due to kind of injury concerns, it seems like he's still the lead guy. So
yeah, the Browns at 5-3 look to be firmly in the wild card hunt in the loaded AFC.
Well, right now all the AFC North teams are currently like looking at the playoff picture. All of them are in the playoffs if they were to start today. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
obviously,
cool.
I don't think that holds because they're going to beat up each other.
And that was the first. That was the first division breakdown we did. Our first ever episode. We're like, damn, this is a good division. Like we could see this order going in so many different ways, and that division has been the best in football thus far. Next, the Los Angeles Rams without Matt Stafford, led by Brett Rypien, only put up 3 points. Rypien, my bad, Brett, if you're listening. The Packers beat him 20-3 in Lambeau. Rypien went 13 of 28, 130, and a pick. That's fucking brutal. The run game was non-existent yet again. Henderson 10 for 19, Freeman 12 for 32. And
another dud for Kupp. I mean,
another dud for Kupp. 2 for
different.
48 on 7 targets. Nakua 3 for 32 on 7 targets.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be happy. You can't be happy with that. But like at the end of the day, you got to remember, look who they're playing with.
Yeah.
So I think once Stafford gets back, better days ahead. But Kupp, man,
it's 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
He's killing me, man.
Hasn't gotten over 50 yards in the past 3 weeks.
Very unlike him. And he's getting a lot of targets, too.
Yeah,
so.
7, 10, and 7 in targets.
Interesting.
List.
Jordan Love had a great game. 20 of 26. Very efficient. 228 and a touchdown. Aaron Jones, 20 for 73 on the ground. And a touchdown. Yeah, great call, Reagan.
Yep.
A.J. Dillon only had 9 carries for 40. The Packers' leading receiver, Luke Musgrave, also had a touchdown. I have him stashed in Dynasty. Yeah. I like Musgrave coming out of college.
Tight ends are starting to show out the past couple
Them
weeks.
rookie tight ends, man.
A
lot of options out there.
Watson also had a catch.
He had 1 catch for 37 yards, but Christian Watson...
Shut up! Holy shit!
I think we know...
The whole game I was looking at it, and he didn't have anything, but I guess he took 1 catch for fucking almost 40 yards.
Only 2 targets, though, so he wasn't
I think
involved.
we know at this point what Christian Watson is. I mean, he had that insane 5-game stretch last year, but
maybe that's more of the Rodgers effect, you know?
Yeah, he's been pretty brutal.
You got Aaron Rodgers.
He's just like a downfield threat at this point,
Well, he
I
went
think.
off a couple games with Jordan Love when he played last year.
Oh, that is true. All right, what do we got next?
Before we say that, the Rams sit at 3-6. Season seems to be going down the tubes. Packers 3-5. We'll see.
Yeah, only 2 games out of a wild card spot, so
We'll see.
You never know.
All right, the Commanders beat the Patriots on the road 20-17.
I was shocked by this. I'm not going to be. I doubted Washington here. I really thought
I was on the fence. I had Washington. You talked me into New England,
because
motherfucker.
Sam Howell's still like a rookie in my book, so I really thought he was going to struggle. I mean, he did have 1 really bad interception, like right before halftime. But he threw for 325 and a touchdown. Like, the guy's just slinging it around the yard. Like, he really is though. Like,
in the backyard, tossing some rocks.
That fucker is slanging it.
He's fucking slanging that thing. I mean, like, dude.
Hey, yo, dude, relax, Billy Goat.
I'm so clipping that shit.
But I mean, dude, the fact that he's already got fucking almost 2,500 passing yards already is crazy to me. I mean, granted, he has played that extra game. They haven't had their bye yet. I think they're one of those teams that their bye is like week 14 or 13.
The Giants bye is that week too.
Yeah, so
can't come soon enough.
I'm done with the rest of the season.
But yeah, I mean, what's impressive from Howell too is he really spreads the ball around.
Yeah,
McLaurin 5 catches, Dotson 4, Pringle 3, Gibson 5, Brown 2, Thomas 4, Crowder 4, Robinson 1. Like really just spraying the ball around the field. Now on the Patriots side, another loss. They fall to 2-7. Clearly the worst season under Belichick. Mac Jones 24-44 for 220, a touchdown, a pick against a defense that's been gettable. So he blows.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me is Ramondre, he goes for a 64-yard touchdown. You're in the game. Like, this game was close the whole time. You didn't have to abandon the run. You go, all right, let's hand the ball off 19 times. We'll make Mac Jones toss it 44 times.
Doesn't make sense.
You give Ramondre, after having a 64-yard touchdown, you reward him with 9 carries the whole entire game. Doesn't really add up to me. But whatever. I guess this New England team's going to be bottom 10. But maybe even bottom 5. I still can't see it. But, I mean, every week where I think they got a winnable game, they're losing it. So
yeah, it's tough. They're definitely one of the worst teams in football. Now, people have been asking, or like posing this question, right?
Yeah.
Does Bill, at this point of his career, obviously we just mentioned he's the second oldest coach in football, does he have it in him to restart and take a rookie quarterback top 5 and go through a rebuild? Does he have that in him, Reagan? Or do the Patriots just go the veteran route?
I guess it really just depends where their pick is.
I could totally see him just sticking and picking like a fucking offensive tackle.
I mean, he took Mac Jones at 15, so, I mean, it's hard to say.
It is hard to say, but it's a loaded quarterback class, and clearly Mac Jones is never going to be an elite quarterback, let's be honest.
No, you're right.
So, does Bill have it in him for a full-blown rebuild? I don't know. It's an interesting question.
I bet it is. All right, what do we got next?
What do we have next?
What do you want to go to? What do we want to go to? We got a couple options.
Let's talk about your Saints. Let's talk about your Saints beating the Bears 24
should have covered. I mean,
to 17.
That's what pissed me off I think most is the Saints didn't cover this game because my favorite kicker in the world, Groupie, just dude seems like every week
off the upright.
It was 7.5.
It was
7.5. Or technically 8.
Holy shit.
He missed a field goal to make it 10 points. Then the Saints got the first down just enough that they could run out the clock without kicking the field goal. So they had like first down on the 7-yard line, and then they let the clock run out. And, Groupie, what is he on the season now? Because this dude just pisses me. They got to get rid of him. They got it. Yeah, he's 18 for 23 on the year. I don't want to be eating 12 hot dogs because of this fool. He already blew one game against the Packers. This team should be fucking 6-3 right now. But that's beside the point. Taysom Hill, another huge week.
Yeah, I started him. My only bright spot in my fantasy lineup.
I do. I mean, I've been saying it, man.
Last week on the pod, you said you got to start him.
You got to start him.
I beat him by 5 points.
He did beat me.
Wow,
Yeah.
Taysom.
Talk that shit.
11 for
Gotta get
52
hurt.
on the ground.
Yeah, threw a touchdown as well.
Threw a touchdown,
Had,
and he caught a touchdown.
I mean, I don't know. Like, he's right now tight end number 8 on the year right now, so I don't know how you're not. He's like a must start in fantasy to me right now.
Yes, in the last few weeks, he's been really heating up.
Dude, he's been, like, he had 15 touches and threw a pass. Like, I don't know. If my tight end's getting 15 touches between running, passing, and receiving, like, I'm going to play him. Even if he doesn't get the touchdowns, like, it's still a decent game.
But they loved running the fucking Wildcat with Hill inside the 5. They love
inside the 5.
It didn't even work this week, and then the next play, he ran a route in the flat.
Dude, he's so involved. You got to pick him up.
Should I sell him a dynasty? 33?
33-year-old? I think
we'll pick him up.
that's a keep. That's a keep.
Who's 0-8 in our league? Glenn?
That's a keep.
I will say, though, for the Saints, I mean, if you pick off Badgett 3 times, you kind of expect him to beat down the Bears a little bit more.
Dude, Badgett was running the ball well, though.
He was.
70 rushing.
was
It seemed
8
like
for
every time I
70.
flipped to this game on Red Zone, I'm like, how this guy's just running. But
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even have, like the picks were bad, but, like, it's a good Saints defense. But Badgett looked decent. Or Badgett.
Yeah,
Badgett.
Badgett.
Right.
What I
He
thought
looked
was
decent to
interesting
me.
was that Roshan Johnson's back, the rookie, had 2 for 6, and Deontay Foreman 20 for 83.
Yeah,
Foreman's overtaking the backfield.
I forgot to say it in the breaking news before, but Khalil Herbert, they just opened his window to return from IR, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Stay away from that backfield when Herbert gets back.
Yeah, for now at least.
I mean, you never know who's going to get the touches week in and week out. For the Saints, they really spread the ball around. Olave 6 for 46, Kamara 4 for 44.
9
Michael
for 26
Thomas
on the ground.
did not have
Joe
a catch.
Colin told us this week.
Yeah, 9 for 26. Boo.
Boo. Not everyone could be like me and Drock over
Come
here.
on now.
It's all right, though.
Slam it.
It's all right. Slam it. All right, let's move on, Reagan. Big ass whooping of the week. My Baltimore Ravens beat the Seahawks 37-3 to improve to 7-2. They were so close to being 9-0.
The funny thing is that national narrative did come to fruition that we were talking about, but not for the team we thought. We were like, oh, well, the Ravens are now getting hyped up. They get the win, but Seattle team also getting a lot of hype going into the week. Like, oh, could Seattle win the division?
Yeah.
They got walloped. And that narrative of the Ravens being able to kill any NFC team, any team out of the AFC North they can beat, and then when it's in the North, like, don't touch the game. It seems like it's becoming true. Like, bet Ravens when they play NFC teams by a lot.
Except for last year against the Giants
Yeah.
at home. But,
That
Kayvon
one team,
Thibodeau
baby.
strip sack for the win.
Well,
but,
you know-
no, I digress.
Yeah, you better digress.
But, yeah, I mean, I mentioned with the Seahawks last week that I want to see them be better against good teams. Granted, they beat Detroit way back in week 2 in overtime, but they've beaten bad teams. They had a soft schedule. This was a legit test on the road in Baltimore. And Lamar and the boys just took it to them. Particularly on the ground. Gus the Bus Edwards only had 5 carries, but he had 2
52
touchdowns.
and a touchdown,
and
yeah.
52. And Keontae Mitchell, an undrafted rookie, went for 138 and a touchdown.
He's got a lot of juice in
Yeah,
him,
he's got
dude.
some juice, man. People were saying he looks like Chris Johnson a little bit. I mean,
I wonder what their situation is going to look like going forward. I mean, Justice Hill still had 13 carries, so it'll be interesting to see like what that looks like for fantasy. But I mean, Keontae Mitchell, like we're talking on a Monday night, that's a must pick up on waivers, I'd say. I mean, with how efficient he was and how much juice he seemed to have, like I think you got.
yeah, but it is a committee backfield, and Gus has been playing really well. His
Gus
touchdown
has,
streak
but like I
continued.
don't think he's going to take the Gus role. Like he might just take the Justice Hill role. Like Justice Hill was 13 for 40, so it's not like that's okay, you know.
Yeah, maybe the kid gets some reps. I like it. And OBJ scores his first touchdown in purple. Love to see that. Still an
birthday.
Odell supporter.
Happy birthday, OBJ.
Happy birthday, OBJ.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Yeah,
I
hope he sends you a DM and says thanks, Drock.
Yo, Drock, like
Next
you
week.
family,
A
bro.
little late, but thanks, bro.
Yeah, but thanks, bro. Better make me your Trox lock next week.
Yeah. Oh, sneak peek.
you know
What?
what?
Hello.
All right.
Teaser.
And now on the Seattle side, I mean, not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, this offense had 6 first downs in the whole entire game. Gino did not look good at all.
It's fine though. It's fine though because he ain't right back.
The run game was just non-existent. I mean, JSN. I mean, that's something good.
He's really
6
starting
for
to come
63.
on
I mean,
the past few weeks.
that's big
I mean,
for-
I'm sure DK's pissed. He only 1 catch for 50 yards.
yeah. I mean, That play was pretty nice, and then they ended up getting a field goal out of it. And outside of that one play setting them up, they
really didn't do anything. Gino, 13 to 28 for a $157 and a pick. Not good. Not good for your Seahawks, buddy.
Nope, not ideal.
Next, we've been talking about C.J. Stroud earlier. They beat the Bucs 39 to 37 on a crazy game-winning drive. Wow, the fact that they hung 39 against a pretty good Bucs defense is very impressive.
Three of those points were from their fourth or fifth string running back, Darway Gumbawale.
Yeah, Gumbawale had to be the emergency kicker because I believe Fairbairn went down.
He literally had 3 fantasy points this week. He didn't touch the ball. Like he has more fantasy points from kicking than he does actually running or receiving on the season. So.
That was pretty cool when he made the field goal. They're all getting very excited for him.
I mean, who wouldn't be? That's wild. He was getting he had 1 touchback too. I mean, granted he got to kick it from the 50-yard line, but that's huge to have a guy step up like that. Like,
it's pretty cool.
I hate to say like he won them that game because of what Stroud did, but I mean he is a huge reason they won that game.
Yeah, I mean
because not just the field goal, but the kickoffs.
Talk about becoming valuable. Love it. I guarantee he woke up that morning thinking he was like, I'm chilling. I'm not gonna play today. And then you're our fucking kicker.
Dude, that's the reason why when he was on the Bucs, he was a captain. He was their special teams captain. Like people don't realize that. Like this guy's been a special team performer before, so it shouldn't come as a shock unless you're a casual.
Yeah, that's a good point, Reagan. I really like that point. C.J. Stroud, we talked about his historic performance, 30 of 42 for 470 and 5 touchdowns. God damn. Noah Brown, 6 for 153 and a touchdown. Dalton Schultz, 10 for 130 and a touchdown.
Yeah, Dalton
Schultz, former Cowboys
man.
Going to work.
Dalton Schultz, man.
Didn't 2 other receivers have 100+ too?
Yeah, Tank Dell, 6 for 114 and 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins, 3 for 54 and a touchdown.
Yeah, but 3 guys to go for over 100. And I mean, Dalton Schultz, a guy I was hyping up like crazy in the offseason. He was a must pick up in fantasy.
And on the Bucs side, I mean, they did their thing offensively. Baker, 21 of 30 for 265 and 2 touchdowns. Rashad White on the ground, 20 for 73 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, dude, he's another guy that's been surprising this year. Big impact for fantasy, but I mean, like obviously from an NFL standpoint, he hasn't been super efficient. But like fantasy wise, he's getting a ton of volume, scoring a lot, and getting a ton of targets from Baker Mayfield. So
yeah, a big down game for Chris Godwin. Usually he's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
2 for 16.
Worst game of the season by far.
Yep, and Mike Evans, 4 for 87. Both passing touchdowns from Baker went to none other than Cade Otton.
And Evans,
6 for 70 and 2 touchdowns.
The one big catch, he fell down at the 1.
Yep.
Or, like honestly, like so that was almost the touchdown too. So
Bucs fall to 3 and 5. Houston improves to 4 and 4. All right, now we're at the 4 o'clock slate, Reagan.
Yeah.
The Colts beat the Panthers. We were both on the Panthers, but they did not look very good, particularly Bryce Young. 27-3 for the Colts. They improved to 4 and 5. Panthers dropped to 1 and 7. For the Panthers, Young threw 3 picks.
2 pick sixes too.
How about Kenny Moore? Not good.
How about Kenny Moore too?
Kenny Moore, baby.
Both of them to Kenny Moore. I mean, that's pretty sick to have 2 pick sixes in one game.
Safe to say he's going to be the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you compete with that.
Yeah, who else scored 2 touchdowns? Nobody.
Certainly not me.
Chuba Hubbard, still the lead back in that backfield. 16 for 58. Miles Sanders, 6 for 39.
It was funny.
Not good for your
Miles Sanders
season-long prediction there.
Well, Miles Sanders did get the first touch of the game, so, you know. He had his opportunity to keep it. But he couldn't get hot on that one carry, and they're like, back to the bench.
Yeah. Adam Thielen, bad game for this guy. 5 for 29 compared to what he's been doing. Very poor performance for the Panthers, and I know it's, the first season halfway through the year, but they might be kicking themselves for taking Young over Stroud.
And it was good to see Jonathan Taylor. He continues to get more and more work, but it still seems like, week. Both guys you can play. I mean, as long as it's a favorable matchup, I think you got to play both guys.
Yeah, I mean...
between him and Moss.
I like that Taylor got in the end zone.
It was much overdue, but...
Next, one of the big games of the week, the Eagles at home beat the Cowboys 28-23 to improve to 8-1, even with Hurts nursing that knee injury, which he left briefly. Not even briefly. He got knocked out, but I believe he went right back in the next series.
This game did not disappoint at all. I mean,
it was a sick game. It was a sick game.
Came right down to the wire.
Dallas now 5-3. Dak Prescott played his absolute nuts off. 29 of 44, 374, and 3 touchdowns. Some were saying one of the best games he's played for Dallas.
Oh, yeah, dude. 374 for 3. I mean, of course.
And
that is one of the best.
CeeDee Lamb continued his hot streak. 11 for 191, Reagan. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of freaking yards. And Jake Ferguson's been doing well, too. 7 for 91 and 1. So I'm saying, man, a lot of, if you actually look at these box scores, a lot of tight ends had big weeks.
Yeah.
And you know who didn't? And then the one that didn't, Travis Kelce, the guy that's supposed to be that
it's
difference
so
maker.
So weird how that works out. Pollard 12 for 51 on the ground, still hasn't gotten going.
He had 15 touches. I mean, if he gets in the end zone once, you're not as worried. That's what I'm saying. He's a big buy low candidate for me right now. I really think he's gonna have better days ahead.
Yeah. Now, positive for Dallas is they didn't get blown out by a good team, and their defense kept their streak going of not allowing a receiver to go for 100 yards, and that included A.J. Brown. His streak came to an end.
Yeah,
Still had a good game,
yards.
7 for 66 and a touchdown. Devontae 3 for 51 and a touchdown. Hurts added one to the ground. So did Kenneth Gainwell. We were both on the Eagles at home, but they did make it.
No, I took Dallas.
Oh, you took Dallas?
I did take Dallas. Yeah, dude, it was a rough week for me, but I did take Dallas.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about the picks this week.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. We can either highlight it now or we can wait till tonight's game.
Well, we'll mention it now, but we'll highlight it more at the beginning of next pod because I want everyone.
Yeah, I wanted to forget about it.
Yeah, we both went 7-6 in the money line. Not good. I went 7-6 against the spread. Not very good either. It's all right. But Reagan went 3-10 against the spread.
Yep. So.
Not a good week for the
Not
kid.
Not ideal. So, Colin, yeah, we're neck and neck now.
We are neck and neck, brother.
Usually, yeah, it helps to catch up when the guy in front of you gets 3 right.
Hey, I had that 1 week when I got 4. Yeah, I said, hey, we're only halfway through the season. I know.
Yeah, you're feeling me.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What the fuck, man? I just sit next to you. That's about it. All right, let's get this one out of the way, Reagan. My Giants lose 30-6 to the Raiders.
I don't even think we have to talk about the Giants much at
We've
this
already
point.
talked about the Giants.
But I do want to say, good for the Raiders, man. With all that shit to go down, I know you guys are going to say, we were playing with our third-string quarterback. But the fact that they still went out, put up 30 points, I mean...
Well, they had 21 points in the first half, which is more than they scored in a game
Yeah,
all
that's
season.
what I mean. So, you see getting rid of Josh McDaniels, getting rid of the GM, getting rid of the OC, and right away, like you said, they put up 21 points. Seems like the culture's changing there. I mean, it was cool to see them all smoking cigars in the locker room. I had no problem with it. Everyone's freaking out, but it's they're just excited for their coach.
They probably like that DeVito pack.
Yeah, they probably liked the guy a lot and were happy he got a promotion. And they probably all knew.
Hey, victory cigars for the guy for Antonio Pierce's first win.
Yeah.
I think it's warranted. It's fine.
And I mean, Josh Jacobs. 26 for 98 and 2.
Now it'll be interesting to see if that continues because is it because the Giants just lost Leonard Williams in the center of that defensive line,
and I'm not even
saying
to
an aspect of it, or is it a conceded effort from Pierce to get the ball to Jacobs?
Well, dude, and also the aspect of Danny DeVito not turning the ball over a ton,
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I think I think that's more on the coaching staff, realizing we got to get this guy rolling because I mean Aiden O'Connell's still a rookie. He threw the ball 25 times. They won. You don't want him throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. So it's definitely part of the game plan. It'll be interesting to see how they look on Sunday night against the Jets next week. So
yeah, the Raiders are now somehow 4-5.
Yeah.
So I mean.
They're still
Could they make a wild card push? I doubt it, but they're there right now.
They ain't giving up yet.
The season, they're there right now. All right,
last game. Big bet of the week.
Big bet of the week. The Bengals. My Bengals, baby. 24-18
Before we
win
get into it, what was our
over
punishment?
the Bills.
What was
the
our
Juice
punishment?
World Challenge, Volume 2, 999.
Juice World Challenge, okay.
So we're going to actually, it's good we're just talking about the Giants. Reagan's punishment this week is 9 donuts, 9 shooters, and 9 holes of golf. Now, our season-long bet was... One of them is the Giants going to make the playoffs? Mm-hmm. And the loser has to caddy for the winner. I am waving the white flag with Jones out for the season at 2-7. I'm waving the fucking flag, boys. We're not making the playoffs.
It'd be so funny if they make the playoffs.
So we're gonna kill. Yeah, if they win the playoffs, I mean, fuck me. I'm just shitty
caddied,
fan.
yeah.
But I just caddied for nothing. So we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm gonna caddy for Reagan this weekend. He's going to play 9 holes of golf.
Yeah,
he's going to do 9 donuts, 9 shooters. I'm going to be walking around with him trying to give him some swing tips. It won't work, especially when we get to the 6th hole and he's fucking wasted.
Yeah, this guy's. You're better off giving me some drinking advice.
Are you dressing up as a caddy or no?
Yeah, I got a caddy bib.
You have a caddy
bib?
bib?
I used to caddy.
That's hilarious.
Back in the day, yeah. So I'll be my caddy bib. We're gonna walk the course and hopefully we're gonna shoot low, right, Reagan?
I'm gonna walk.
9 shooters.
I'm more gonna be waddling. You might need it I'll just be waddling with my gut hanging
some
out.
of those calories.
What are you doing with the donut? Who's carrying them and everything?
Joe will be in a golf cart.
Joe will be in a golf cart with the donuts. In my caddy bib, I will have all 9 shooters, and it's going to be 9 different shooters.
No, put the donuts in your pocket, too.
9 different shooters.
Colin will be handing the donut and the shooter to Reagan. I'll carry him in the car.
Well,
he doesn't have to hand
what's
me the
going to be
donut. I don't need this girl's hands touching my donut.
What's going to be...
You can open the shooter for me.
What's your strat? Are you going to, like, at each tee box,
I
scarf
think I'm
down the
gonna
donut and take a shooter?
I've already thought I'm going to mash the donut in my hand, shove it down my gullet, and then just use the shooter to, like, wash it down. Yeah.
Right. Now, when are you doing that? Before you tee off? Or
are you doing it in the tee box? Or are you going to do it, like,
throughout
the hole?
I feel
before.
Maybe once I get on the putting greens, then I'm, like, all, like, frazzled and stuff.
I think just take it whenever.
I think it should be, like, on the tee box before you start the hole.
Yeah. That's what I was planning on. Is just on the tee box. We'll probably just stick with that.
Highbridge?
We're playing fairways, which is 9-hole course, and I think
Just
Reagan.
No
if it were me,
18.
if it were me,
I was like, then I gotta go play.
Yeah, it's impossible. I think that would be impossible.
no.
Yeah.
I think the strategy should be tee box, slam the shooter, then eat the donut throughout the hole.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. I mean,
We're also getting
sure-
9 random donuts from Dunkin' Donuts,
And 9
so-
random shooters, too.
and 9 random shooters. So
9 random shooters.
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what you get. It's just gonna be in my caddy bib. I'm just gonna pull one out for you. It's gonna be whatever it
let's
is.
try to make them
Colin,
complement each
I
other.
don't think you should know what the donuts and the shooters are. Like, you pull it out, and we get his reaction.
Oh yeah, you won't
on
know
camera.
until you're at that.
You gotta
hole.
randomize the donuts though. Like I want to have something different every time.
Well, yeah, we're gonna. I say we go.
No,
to
we made an
Dunkin',
agreement.
just
He's
tell
gonna
her,
be
just
respectful enough. He's
randomize
not
it.
giving me like anything over 40%.
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? Colin's I randomized it. Here's a bunch of 50%ers, buddy.
Reagan, are we gonna go low on Saturday? You gonna shoot low? I'm gonna set the over under at 59.5. What do we think?
59.5 over. Way over. No, you set it to 69.5. Keep in mind, this kid's gonna be like 7 shooters.
Keep in mind, it's called fairways for a reason. You can't miss it,
Yeah, in that grass.
and you'll find a way.
I think I would. If it was 60, I'd probably take
That first hole, I guarantee.
Does anyone want to bet with me? I'll fucking rock with my guy. I'll caddy with my guy.
We'll go
He's
under.
gonna be screaming at me, and I'm gonna be like falling. I'll be like, get up! Get up!
I'll do a $50 bet with you.
$50 bet, 59.5.
59.5.
Shake my hand.
Can you
$50.
shoot a 59?
I mean, if I was sober, maybe.
What's your best at fairways?
Take the over.
You better play.
Hold on, I need to know his best at fairways.
It's like right around there. There's like 60, I think.
Oh, that's a shitty line then.
Yeah,
no, that's
what
a
do you
bad
mean?
line.
You said it.
He said his best was 60.
I'll go $25 for 63.5. I think that's fair.
63.5?
Yeah, that's
25
fair.
bucks.
That's fair.
But make sure you're fucking.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'll have to score hard in my bib.
Sober, actually trying was
I'm
the
trying to
line
see,
that you said.
My best was
Flashing in.
also 57. I just tricked him.
Oh! Get shit on. We already shook. No, 63.5 is fair.
57
Yeah,
was
no,
my
yeah.
best.
9 shooters.
No, I thought it was
deep,
50,
9 donuts.
55 was your
Oh, no,
best.
50. You're right.
55.
55 was what I was sober, so.
63.5 is a fair line.
Hey, dude, I'm going to be fucking plastic.
I've seen him shoot a
I
70.
also haven't golfed in 3 months.
Yeah, this kid's. Why?
I just haven't had time. We've been doing a podcast,
Yeah,
working. Like, it's getting
Yeah, we have a
colder,
podcast,
darker.
bro.
No, I'm just saying,
My
like.
bad. Forgot.
In
about
case
If we weren't filming,
forgot.
if we weren't filming a podcast 2 days a week, I mean that's a lot more time I'd have. So, I guess let's end the podcast.
63.5 is a fair
I thought
line.
this was just a modeling agency, not a podcast.
Yeah, any of you females or males that are looking into modeling, send all male photos to Colin and all female photos to Drop.
What the fuck?
But yeah, let's break down the game.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow did Joe Burrow things, 31-44, 348 and 2 touchdowns. He's all the way back.
Good.
It was a big T. Higgins game, 8 for 110. Jamar Chase only had 4 for 41 on 8 targets, but they still got the job done. Defense played well. On the Buffalo side, Allen played all right for Allen standards, 26 of 38 for 258, a touchdown and a pick. He had 8 for 44 and a touchdown on the ground. Kincaid had 10 catches for 81. Diggs scored again, 6 for 86 and a touchdown. We already touched on this game a little bit earlier. The Bengals going on a run. This is a huge win for them at home to improve to 5-3. The Bills dropped to 5-4, but I still think
They got it. The Bengals got it done without even Jamar Chase. I mean, he played obviously, but he didn't do anything. Like 4 for 41. Like T. Higgins was the big storyline, and Irv Smith on that first drive, and then did nothing else after the fact.
Yep.
But I mean, they didn't even need to run the ball. Like they had 22 carries for 54 yards. It was just all on Burrow's arm, and they protected him well, only allowing 1 sack.
Mixon has really
Mixon
not.
looked good.
He's
Mine looked fine.
14 for 37 and a touchdown. I mean, if you say
He's more
2.6
involved
yards per
yeah.
carry is fine, I guess. But
And
For
a
fantasy, it was
and
fine.
A TD, yeah. I don't know.
A TD.
TDs.
Hey,
they really haven't gotten Mixon going, and it doesn't really matter because Joe Burrow is going to light up everyone. They were talking about it in the broadcast. The Bills love playing zone defense, but Joe Burrow picks apart zone defense. So then they tried to compromise and go man, and that didn't work either. So this Bengals offense is really humming right now.
Yeah, now it looks like a scary team. Team I wouldn't want to see in the playoffs.
They were
Ooh.
plus 600 like two weeks ago.
So I got them to win the
Drops
Super Bowl.
calling
Plus,
them to run the table.
plus 1,600.
It's
Do you know what they are to win the Super Bowl now? Because I got them
plus
plus
14, I think.
All right, I got them plus
yeah,
16.
I thought I saw 14 or 1,100. I don't even know. They're one of those.
Today they were at plus 14. I don't know if it
Yeah,
changed.
you're probably right.
I'm digging it. I got it plus 16. I'll take it.
These guys are sharp.
Sharp.
Ooh.
Get in now, guys, before it's too late. They'll be plus 700 by the time playoffs roll around.
Yeah, it'll be a nice cash out, if anything.
Yeah, it's true.
I ain't cashing. I'm riding.
He's a ride or die with Joe Burrow.
Like a horsey.
If they win the Super Bowl, I'm buying a Joe Burrow jersey.
Wow. Why not like a Joe Mixon jersey?
No, that guy sucks.
What about a Joe Cafaro jersey?
I'll
You
think
could get
about
one
it.
of those.
You get a custom Joe Cafaro jersey
I'll
if
hit
on
up
the Bengals.
DHgate. Can you make me a Joe Cafaro jersey for $15?
That'd be sweet.
All right, well, that wraps up today's pod, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Reagan, it's time for you to go watch your Jets.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully next time we're...
Score prediction. Who's scoring?
Zach Wilson
Go.
first touchdown. Jets win 24-14. Defense steps up big. Big Brees Hall night.
I'm going to go Chargers win 20-13. No one really does anything. I think it's going to be a gross game. But I think Eckler scores.
All right.
You think Eckler scores?
You said Eckler scores, and it's going to be gross.
Who's scoring for the Jets?
Come on, who scores for us?
Who scores for the Jets?
Tell us.
I will go. I like Brees Hall. Brees Hall and 2 field goals.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Only time will tell. But
Only time will tell.
that wraps
brother.
up what we got for this podcast. So we will see you guys on Wednesday with the Week 10 preview.